Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, last night, before I went to bed, I was watching Comic Book Cast, as I sometimes like to do. And the guy who runs Comic Book Cast podcast, the podcast thing on YouTube, he was talking about how the director of the upcoming Black Widow movie or film, whatever, was heavily inspired or influenced by Logan, which I must say, I freaking love Logan. Logan is one of my best freaking movies of all time. It's right up there. But something he was saying was retcon. So he mentioned something about retconning. And I kept thinking, you can still retcon the X-Men into the sacred timeline of the MCU. Because it's not too late to retcon, the X-Men into the MCU continuity. I mean, think about it. We have the Eternals, right? Fair enough. But you can also retcon, you can make the Eternals in that film, we can see the evolution of how mankind became mutants. Because technically in comic book continuity, it goes Celestials, the chain. Check the chain out. The family mutant tree on New Rockstars. They're good. I forget how the chain works, but I know it goes that diamond thingy majiggy. Then some other race, cosmic race, and then the Celestials, the Eternals, the Deviants, and then the Inhumans / and mutants. So, okay, we've already seen the Inhumans. Okay, we all know how that happened. We all know how that ended. What happened with that? And we've seen enhanced humans, keyword enhanced humans, where they are not Inhumans, but they're not mutants, they're enhanced. Kind of like Steve Rogers. He's a prime example of an enhanced human. Bruce Banner, he's more considered an Inhuman for multiple purposes. But I would also argue that he is technically a mutant / Inhuman, because if we're going by that deleted end credit scene in the end of Iron Man, where Nick Fury is like, if assorted mutants, keyword, in assorted mutants, radioactive bug bites, and gamma radiation, keyword, here, assorted mutants, which could imply that the X-Men have been doing their own thing, which could possibly be a thing. Yes, it's kind of dumb, it's kind of stupid, but and yes, it's pretty much lazy, but still, it's an answer to. It's still an answer to why we haven't seen the X-Men in the MCU. Maybe because the reason why we haven't seen the X-Men in the MCU is because they were off doing their own thing, fighting their own battles, fighting their own villains, which is quite possible, which could possibly be happen, which could possibly happened. Think about it. If we go by the Nick Fury deleted scene, end credit scene, right? At the end of Iron Man. And they retconned Ang Lee's Hulk, 2003's Hulk, into the Incredible Hulk. And we did see Abomination in comic book accurate form, one of many comic book accurate forms, in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So it could possibly well be that in Black Widow we see another retcon of the X-Men timeline, or the Fox X-Men universe, in continuity to the sacred timeline, as Miss Minutes puts it. And it's not a bad thing. Yes, I know it's probably lazy writing, it's probably dumb, but we need answers here. I don't know for those who are watching this, I don't honestly know if you guys are diehard X-Men fans like I am. Like, I have like 9 billion, no, not really. I have like Wolverine comics. I have a bunch of Wolverine comics at that. I have like 3 Wolverine toys. I have a Wolverine Funko Pop. I have a picture of Wolverine, half masked, half not. I think I have a Wolverine X-Men problem. But, no, on all seriousness, is it better to have a lazy, cheap retcon into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aka the sacred timeline, to have to say, yeah, the X-Men have been here the whole entire time. They were just off doing their own thing. Time hopping. They were pretty much time hopping. And that's why we haven't seen the X-Men or they could have been just reality hopping, which could have happened, They were just time hopping. Multiversal hopping, I guess. I don't know. Literally. It could literally be anything. Like, so, what do we truly know? They went to the 70s, right? We could literally see the events of the X-Men Sacred timeline play out according to the MCU, but we didn't really know about it because we were just focusing on one key aspect of the MCU, which was the main continuity. We weren't really focusing on what was going on with the X-Men. We were like, oh, this is the new team. This is what's happening now. Who truly says who can't say what am I trying to say? Why who is it to say that the X-Men weren't really truly a part of the sacred MCU timeline? Anyways, I don't think I heard anybody say, oh, the X-Men weren't truly a part of the MCU sacred timeline. I mean, for all we know, they were just time hopping. Or they were just doing their own thing, as time went on. Like, we got Dark Phoenix twice, and we all know how that happened. And, like, Logan dies in 2029. Okay, we're still in 2023, 2024. Logan is literally still alive in that time frame. So, literally, we can see certain things happen in this iteration, the next chapter of the X-Men, the next chapter of Wolverine. And to be honest, it has been rumored, not saying it's official, I don't know if it's 100% official, that we are going to be getting a Wolverine anthology series, which we could see. I mean, let's look at facts, right? Throughout the whole X-Men timeline, right? Wolverine was born in 1835, which would make sense because in that movie of X-Men Origins, Wolverine Wolverine would have been 10 in 1845, which could make sense. And then we see him in his 30s in X-Men Origins go into the American Civil War. 'Cause he's already an American citizen at this point. And then he goes into World War II. He goes into World War I, World War II, the Cold War, this Korean War. What is the Korean War? I don't know. Whatever war was in the 60s or 70s. It's the Cold War. He could have fought in the Cold War. After that whole, fuck off, bub. Fuck off. I'm drinking my beer. He could have done that, In 1962. Who truly knows if the events of the X-Men weren't truly a part of the X-Men? I like to think that the events of X-Men, all the whole X-Men timeline, even though they are all over the place, do happen in the MCU. That's just me. I don't know how many of you guys feel about this, but that's just me. I like to imagine a world where the events of the X-Men, the whole X-Men timeline, even the Mutant X show that probably nobody really remembers, happened in present day. Because there's a key opponent in those franchise, in that franchise. There is, mutants are dying. Mutants are a dying breed. Mutants are a dying race. Mutants are a dying species. So they hire, or they bring Inhumans or New Mutants into continuity, which could possibly be set in 2024 or 2025. Think about it, guys. Let's just think about it. This is just something I just couldn't stop thinking about, and I just wanted to talk about it. Also, I'm kind of pumped to see what happens in Black Widow. Could we see the X-Men be retconned? Maybe, hopefully. But honestly, I would like to see the X-Men franchise be retconned then in the most ridiculous, lazy, simplified way than just like another dimension or like another part of the another timeline. To be honest, that's more complicated to do than just say, hey, they're just, it's just better to, in my opinion, it's just better to retcon and say they were doing their own thing than just like, yeah, we're just gonna multiverse it in, I feel like it would be much easier, even though it would be lazy writing and like probably stupid and dumb. But I mean, they made time travel pretty easy and simplified. They're just like, in Endgame, they simply simplified time travel in the most basic, lazy, kind of lazy way. But it worked. Because it's freaking Kevin Feige. Who's gonna be mad at Kevin Feige for retconning the X-Men? I mean, you don't really necessarily have to keep the same plot as the Fox X-Men universe, but you can keep some elements. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys so far. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks.